And speaking of change, one thing we won't be seeing at the pageant this year, swimsuits. That's because Carlson herself axed that from the competition after deciding contestants will no longer be judged on their physical appearance. That's what she says. So joining me to discuss, Miss America finalist Marshawn Evans, also Sirius XM talk show host and comedian Pete Dominic. Thank you both for being with me. And Marshawn, I want to start with you because the big question is here. Can Miss America survive these days? But also, should Miss America survive? I mean, even without the bathing suit competition, it's not like these women have no makeup and are wearing paper bags.
True. True, absolutely. Well, look, I competed at Miss America during a very important time. I was Miss District of Columbia, and I was there competing in Atlantic City during September 11th, representing our nation's capital. Now, I went there, of course, to win. I ended up winning, being third runner-up, talent interview winner, and also the Miss America National Community Service Award. So I have a special appreciation for what it develops in a woman in terms of scholarship, the opportunity for leadership, platform. I got to advocate for youth crime prevention, juvenile justice delinquency. I worked with the Attorney General of the United States at 20 years old. So there's a lot that it develops inside of a person that enables you to have a leg up in life and step into your life mission and your purpose. Now, with that being said, I also competed in the swimsuit talent, evening wear, and interview portions of the competition. I think that those things are, they build up courage, they give you stage presence, and I think pageants are just as relevant as sports are. But when I competed there during 9/11, I also learned a lot more than just success. I learned about significance and that all of us have our time for such as this, where we're here to do something larger. I applaud Cara Munn, the current Miss America, for standing up and using her voice, and that's one of the things that the Miss America competition is supposed to do. I do think that it is time for leadership change. I don't think that there is a positive environment right now, and I think it's a mistake that the Me Too movement and Miss America are being combined together as one because they're radically different. Me Too is a platform, it's an issue, but it's Gretchen Carlson's issue. It's not representative of what the entire organization is about. And I do think that pageants are relevant, just as relevant as sports, to train people to do what it is that they want to do to accomplish their life, their goals, and their mission.
What's funny is Gretchen was the change. She was brought in to make some of these changes into the pageant. And Pete, to you have two daughters, and you hear that argument that Marshawn's making. It's a good one. There are great things that come out for many of these Miss Americas, and they're great examples. Would you want your girls to be in a pageant?
Well, what I want for my girls is for them to be able to choose, make their own choices. I like to think as a parent, as a father, I equip them with the resources. I teach them to argue and critically think. But I don't want my daughters to get tattoos, but if they do, that'll be up to them. I don't want my daughters to be judged on their appearance, but if they do, and if that's something they look for, that is also up to them. And I'm cognizant that I certainly don't want to mansplain to you or Marshawn, who's actually been in beauty pageants. My problem is the feminist movement of the current era, this new movement, the Me Too movement, is really important for all women. And the problem in America continues to be a lack of opportunity for women and minorities. And I think there should be more opportunity in general for women and minorities. And I think that they shouldn't have to, women, appear in a, quote, beauty pageant, because your beauty is not your meritocracy. You know, Lynn, people often say to my daughters, you know what they look like, oh, you're so beautiful. And I often gently push back, yeah, that's only their 10th best quality, because I want them to be judged more on the content of their character than something they didn't work at, which is their face, their eyes. And so I just wish there were more opportunities, and there are now, so that women don't necessarily have to do these types of pageants. That being said, the opportunities that Marshawn took advantage of, good for her.
And you know, some of those changes
and I mean, the unique thing that I think is really important to understand about Miss America is that it is the largest scholarship provider for women in the world. I went to Georgetown Law School 100% debt-free. I got $80,000 in the Miss America competition without winning Miss America. And it provided an opportunity for me to finish not only debt-free, but to step into the role of entrepreneurship. Today, I run one of the largest coaching and training companies, a multi-million-dollar corporation, and one of the largest in the country. I believe that this gave me a leg up to know how to advocate for myself, how to negotiate. I've managed NFL and NBA players. And what is my point? It's not really about me. It's just that this is an avenue for women stepping into exactly what Pete is talking about. Now, the other thing that's really dangerous, I think, is removing that there's something wrong with appearances or beauty. I do think that we need to open up what that looks like. I competed as Miss DC and not as Miss Texas, which is my home state. Texas had never had a black woman win for like 80-something years, well after I had age out. So we do need to open up different body types, different, more understanding of what beauty is. But there's nothing wrong with wearing a dress, wearing a swimsuit, wearing an evening gown, if that's what I want to do, because that's really what feminism is. It's giving a woman an opportunity to do what she desires.
And you had wonderful opportunities, but to Pete, to you, would those opportunities have been there if Marshawn wasn't as attractive? I mean, let's just be honest.
Right. Well, what does an American look like? What does a beautiful person look like? Historically, Americans are white, and beautiful people are skinny with great bone structure and perfect symmetry in their face, kind of like me. But I kid. Nobody thinks that. But face for radio, I get it. I've never been in a pageant. That being said, you know, I would ask Marshawn. It's great that these pageants offer a pathway to scholarships, and if it's true that they're the biggest nonprofit do that, fine, good. But the best way to get a scholarship should be because of your academics, because of your intelligence, and that generally
I completely disagree. Athletes get scholarships every day because of their athletic ability. There's a lot of different ways to get scholarships.
Right.
There's a lot of different ways to be successful. There's not one path. And look, here's the thing. People don't have a right to tell women what makes them successful and what their pathway to success is. The Miss America competition has an identity crisis because they won't admit that they're just a pageant. They're a pageant that also provides scholarships. I've done scholarship competitions. I was a Harry S. Truman Scholar, $30,000 scholarship, purely academic. So I get it. I've been a judge for the Harry S. Truman Scholarship competition with bright scholars all around this country for the last 3 years. So there are multiple ways to pay for college education opportunity. Pageants is one of them. It's okay if we maintain this. It's got a long history, but I do think it is time for us to evolve. It is time for us to redefine what beauty is. I agree with you, Pete, on that. And Pete, you know, if we were competing together, I would vote for you. I would teach you about roller butt glue on how to keep your swimsuit down so it doesn't ride up in the back. I would help you out, Pete.
See, Pete,
I would help you out.
You actually really needed that,
Well,
Marshawn and Pete.
Strangely, you offer me advice on the only thing I know a lot about, how to keep my bikini on with roller butt glue.
Exactly.
I love this conversation. I think it's an important and nuanced conversation. I appreciate you inviting me, a man, into the conversation. I defer to Marshawn. I just want people not to be judged. You know, a burn victim should have every opportunity to get that scholarship. You know, someone who is, quote, deformed, anything like that. How we define beauty, there should be every opportunity that women have, that men have rather, for women to succeed. And there isn't any beauty pageants for men. Those are called just every other job.
A great conversation here, both of you. Thank you for being with me. We appreciate it.